Hi, welcome to today's pep talk, habit versus willpower. There is a theory that we only have a certain amount of willpower every day. And as we make decisions in a day, we are draining that willpower reserve. And so the belief is that if we create habits, then we're not having to actually use our willpower to make decisions. And so the more habits we create, the less willpower we're having to use. I don't know that I necessarily agree that we only have a certain amount of willpower in a day. I do believe, though, we only have a certain amount of energy each day. And I think there are a multitude of factors that impact how much energy we have in a day. I think sleep impacts that, what we eat, how we manage stress, if we're dealing with any health issues. The list goes on and on. So I do believe there's a limited amount of energy we have in a day. And I do agree that if we make habits in our life, then we're not having to use as much energy because they're automatic behaviors that we do. And we don't have to put a lot of energy into making the decision over whether we're going to do it or not. For example, if somebody is choosing to get up in the morning and work out, if it's a habit that they work out in the morning, when that alarm goes off, they're immediately getting up, getting dressed, and heading to the gym. Somebody who is struggling to make that a part of their life, where they're having to tap into willpower, when they wake up in the morning, they may think, oh man, do I really want to get up? I don't know, I could sleep for maybe another 45 minutes. I think I'd rather just sleep for another 45 minutes. But I know it'd be really healthy for me to go ahead and get up. This is something, and there's all of this energy that's going into deciding whether they're even going to get up or not. That is definitely taking a lot of energy from that person. When we're debating with ourselves over whether we want to do something or not, there's a lot of energy going into that. So yes, I agree. The more habits we can make, then the more it just becomes a part of who we are. I know for myself, I get up several hours before I actually need to leave for the office because I have a whole host of things that I do in the morning that are just habits. It is very much just a part of who I am, that I get my workout in, I walk my dog, I prepare my breakfast, I have all of these things that I do in the morning, and there is no debating with myself. When that alarm goes off, I get up because I know these are all things that I'm going to do. So I encourage you to really think about this concept of the amount of energy you have in a day and how if you create more habits in your world that you're going to minimize the amount of energy that you need to go into making decisions. Now, I don't want you to misinterpret this and think that I'm talking about going through your life mindlessly. That's not what I'm saying at all. I want us to be very mindful of what we're doing, even if they're habits. So if a habit for somebody is putting the mail away or sorting through the mail when they get home at night, I don't want you to be mindless as you're going through the mail and sorting it and putting it where it needs to be. Or if you're walking your dog or if you're working out, I don't want you being mindless in those activities. I want you to be mindful and present when you do them. It's just recognizing that you're not having to put a lot of energy into making the decision over whether you're going to do it or not. It's like preparing food for yourself on the weekend to eat for the rest of the week. If you make the habit of doing that, then once again, you don't have to put a lot of energy into deciding whether you're going to make a menu for the week and then prepare those foods on the weekend so that you have them for the week. The energy goes into doing the activity, but there's not a lot of energy that goes into deciding whether you're going to do it or not. So I encourage you to again, really think about this concept and think about ways in which you could create habits in your life versus making, the decision in the moment over whether you're going to do it or not. Because if you know that you have prepared food for yourself, that evening when you get home from work, you don't have to decide whether you're going to eat healthy food or not. If it's been a difficult day for you and you're exhausted, the last thing you're going to want to do is to be thinking about preparing your dinner, and you're going to be more tempted to eat something unhealthy. You might pick up a pizza on the way home or something like that, and it's going to be easier to not make those healthy decisions for yourself. So by creating habits and having those in place, at the end of the day, it's going to be easier to follow through with those habits because they're just a part of who you are, and you don't actually have to make a decision over whether you're going to do them or not. A great resource on this is a book by Gretchen Rubin called Better Than Before. I've referred to it on the PEP for Life Facebook page, just some various comments from her podcast as well as from the book. So I encourage you to look into that as well if you would like to get some more information on this topic and work on creating or getting some better techniques on creating habits in your life. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this was helpful, and I encourage you to do one thing today purposefully to attain true PEP for life.